So in the following of our for loop tutorials, we're also going to see how we can work with this range. So for example, for I in range 2, and imagine that we want to have a certain parts of this, for example list, we want to start from 2 up to the last, or up to a certain item. So let me add other items here. For example, I can add 5, I can add 7. So here, imagine we want to start from the item number 1 to item number 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, up to 4. So 4 and 1 and 4, and I will print I here. So let's see what happens here. It should be for.py. So right here, as you can see, we wanted to start from 1 to 4, count up to from 1 up to 4. It goes from 1 up to 3, so as you can see, it does not cover 4 here. Also imagine that we want to go from 1 to 30, and we want to do it every 3 times. We want to count it every 3 times. So for example, let me run it. We start from 1, the next, so we counted each 3 number. So 1, 4, 4 plus 3, 7, 7 plus 3, 10, and we go up to 28. And so this is about numbers. Also, imagine that if you want to do this for this list right here, and we want from 2.33 up to false, so we don't want 5 to be considered here. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it should start from 1 to 5. And so we should write here print print list, and inside of it I. Here, as you can see, we have all of them up to 5, and 5 is also considered, so it should be up to 4. So 2.33 mic and false are printed out. So 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this one was 4, not 5. Anyway, surprisingly, we have else for the for loop as well. So else is not just for if statement, we can also use it for statement. But it's not very common and not general among the developers. But anyway, we can use else and print the loop has finished. We usually do this for the very long list or loops that I don't know, there are millions or billions of numbers inside the list, and it takes a lot of time for the for loop to finish. So we probably write this one for those circumstances, and that's the use case of this else after the for loop. Anyway, but even if you don't write else here and you simply write print the loop has finished, it will do the same for you. But the benefit of using this else is for other developers to understand that this for loop is a very long one, and this else right here is going to tell us that it's not a very important or main part of the code, but it's generally for letting the user understand that the loop has finished or the process has finished. And this is the use case of using this else. Also notice that, for example, if we have an if statement here, if list and the if item, for example, is equaled false, and it says continue, or for example break, and if anyway, for example, it says break, this else right here is not going to be afterwards. This if it's not going to work on if, rather it's going to work on for. And if we want to have else here for if, first of all, we don't need else here because we have broken out of the for loop, so there is no need for else. We can simply write print something or do something without any else. But if you want to have else here, the indentation should be like this. It should have the same indentation as if here. It shouldn't contain anything else. It shouldn't be this way. So for loop, this indentation has this kind of else, and if here with this indentation, a tab has a kind of an else here, with this kind of indentation, a tab as well. And also, as you can see here, I've used pass for else. You can also do this for a for loop. So for example, for I in range, or for I in list, and pass here. If I run this code, you will see that no error happens, and you can simply see all of the details of that has been printed out. So let me just delete this part, and as you can see here, because we've used break here, else didn't work, and we've skipped else. So let me rerun this. As you can see, we haven't had this printing, the loop has finished, because we've got into the break. And that is one of the times that this else, one of the use cases of this else here is going to tell us whether we face this break right here or not. So for example, we are facing false here, and this is 7. List I equals 7. So we're going to save this. And because we haven't broken out of the loop, and we haven't faced this if a statement is true, and we haven't broken out of the loop, we face this print the loop has finished. Why? Because 7 was out of the range from 1 to 4, and as a result we have finished the for loop completely. We have had all of the items that we needed to cover, and as a result we can see the else, and else here tells us that this for loop has completely been finished. Anyway, that's it for the for loop tutorials.